You know, I hadn't.
So that would have been better. Than
I used to wheel.
Shower and then.
I used to wheel the wheelchair to the steps and look into the shower like promised land.
Oh God.
Because it's in my flat, but I can't reach there. I used to look to smell and see the everything, and you know, I couldn't reach inside for years. For years, do you know what I mean? For years. So I'm lost now. I'm lost. I'm lost now. I'm lost.
So we're talking about the progression. So we've moved from the wheelchair to the
standing,
yeah,
to crawling. And then there was one Facebook post. I went to the gym. And you know, by this time I was deadlifting like do you know what I mean? I was exercising, and you know, people would come around. I remember a gentleman came and said, two in one day. Said this is very inspirational because I was from the wheelchair and I was doing some deadlifts. They waited and they couldn't wait because I wasn't, you know. And he said, this is very inspirational. And I didn't understand at the time, but I was in a mission, my gosh. And
you were fighting.
My gosh.
You were fighting.
And in that time, significant people come into your life. But just as the way you have rubbish, you have gutter, you have people like that come into your life at that time, challenges. My gosh, but you got to find those opportunities amongst that.
The barriers.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
You were asking what the title of the podcast is. That's what it is. Opportunities and barriers.
Okay. All right.
Clearly.
Yeah. Nice. It was like, I've got to talk about these two individuals. I won't mention their names, but people who listen to me will know who I'm speaking about. And they manifested in that time. One was a woman and one was a man. Now, you could see me in a wheelchair, but you want to, that's the time you devise schemes and mechanisms to get my money. It's that time that you
choose to try and scam you.
Appear very sexy and beautiful and desirable, but we know there's only one intent that you have is to take my money. You know, can you think how it is like fancying the opposite sex? And I fancy this woman. I'm just, do you know what I mean? I fancied her. And, you know, anytime we got, you know, close and we're doing anything, it will get to a time and she'll take the camera, my phone, and say, transfer.
Yes.
Do you know what that means? And so we now start to discuss the amount of money I'm going to transfer before anything can proceed.
Oh my goodness. So stop it.
Sure, that's not the woman you said you met in church?
No, okay. No. That, you know, like she was so skilled and I fancied her rotten.
So you'd give her?
Give her? If I don't do transfer, join self.
Oh dear.
So we start discussing. We start
negotiating.
So now when we discuss reach, that's the level of sexual activity. They get price for all. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it all. I'm going to say it all. If you want to do this one, that price. You want to do this one, that price. They had different prices. You know, and she liked her drink, so I would buy her drink.
Did you?
No, I don't drink. I don't like drink.
Never did.
No, never.
Okay. Probably I'm just talking about that point.
I know, but never. Probably about, for me in my life, probably a bottle of wine a year, that equivalent of alcohol content. But apart from that, I tell you what, I like to have drink in my fridge. I like to have drink in my house. I just enjoy that. Do you know what I mean? But never really took to drink. You know, that's something I didn't.
It's not your poison.
No, it's not my poison. And then, you know, it's just like, she could, It was one where she just had me. Oh, I know the tricks he was going to play. Oh, I want to do business with you. Yeah, let's do this good business. Transfer this amount of money. Say when you enter my account, then we'll do the business. And the next day she's looking at me like, or a month later, she's looking at me like, so, just different tricks. And then there was another guy, there's a guy who came in, tall, black, handsome. We became friends then. But he would try some moves with money. That's just like, what's that about? And when we get to where we are now, I'm going to bring him back into the story. But just to say, there's some individuals who,
so they're angels and demons.
Oh
basically,
my gosh!
All coming at the same time.
Oh my gosh!
Together.
Yes.
And demons trying to.
But you must be aware. You must be aware of what opportunities that a burial or a demon, can bring. This is a track now. I'll just play it for a little while.
Yeah. We're talking.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called 7 Kisses of Love.
7 Kisses of Love.
Yeah, 7 Kisses of Love. So the woman came to my flat once. The first time that there was any whatever.
Is this the bad woman or the?
The bad woman.
The baddie.
The baddie. Let's call it.
No, call her the baddie.
Yeah. Okay. So let's call her. Yeah. So she came once, and we were just talking. Of course, we could talk, and we started to kiss. And gosh, it was like, those kind of kisses where the thrust and the it's just like, wow, you don't know if you're closing your eyes or you're opening your eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Is happening.
Yes, a lot is happening, and
a lot was happening to you.
Exactly.
Do you know how much power and emotion there is in a kiss?
Wow.
If it's at the right moment.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
And then after the kiss, you expect something else to proceed, because it was just one of those kisses. And she looked at me. She looked at me. I can remember her face. She looked at me and laughed in my face, packed her bags or whatever, and just walked out. I could just hear I could just hear the doors slam.
So you were basking in some kind of emotional.
I don't go.
But wasn't that just sex starvation, really? Because, like, you're talking about,
whatever you want to call it, my dear, combination of everything. Do you know what I mean?
Plus frustration, plus. So she took advantage.
But you do.
That's a really nasty person.
Thank you. That's awful.
Someone in a vulnerable situation like you were at that time.
Well, that's what we call it, the baddie.
That's why we've named that the
baddie. No, that's what we call it.
Really,
that's what we call it. But I tell you what, even though I knew it was, I needed. So she'll come every fortnight, and when she came, it was just, who else was coming to see me? Do you know what I mean? Who else could I talk to into the morning? So sometimes we start talking and doing, from evening, she can come at any time, 1 o'clock or whatever, till the morning. The carers will come and go on into the afternoon until she falls asleep. Do you know what I mean? And, for musicians, they don't normally sleep on weekends. So when she'll come on the weekend, parties, drink there, every time I'm in the party, play music, yeah.
So was she a composer as well?
Composer of lies. I mean, I can't say she's one of the best liars on the planet.
Could she sing? I'm just saying.
Sing?
Was it? No.
I mean, she lied with such a potency, a power, that she believes her lies. But because of the power behind the lie, you have to believe maybe there's a little truth in that lie. Do you know what I mean? But it's all lie. She was having a good time. She was coming. She was having a good time. I fitted into her schedule of things. Yes, I couldn't come to her house. I was there, but anyway, I started to. But in the time in between, so we live in the baddies alone for a little while.
Okay, are we playing our music though?
Okay, let's play.
Yeah, languages of love.
7 Kisses of Love.
7 kisses. Why did I go to languages?
Because we'll come to languages in a minute. We're talking now. Spirits are talking, aren't they?
I can see.
Yeah.
So you wrote this, but did you sing it?
My lips wet at the mere sight of you. This is your Nubian brand. Soft, succulent from the very depths of Africa. And I completely adore you. I adore you, lady of my color, woman of my heart. And in the morning time, when I have attended to your tender speaks, I'll reach to you, my love, for one more kiss. Just like your sound. Oh, just like your sound. You kiss just like that sound. You moan just like that sound. And I completely adore you. At times I fail to remember our very first kiss. Lost in the multitudes. Movement of the multitudes. Your thrust that is deep. I yearn. Tell me when you want to stop it. I love this game since you.
Whose voice?
One of my singers.
Very nice voice.
And in the morning when we have awoken, I'll reach down again and kiss your tenderest peaks.
Kiss your what?
Kiss your tenderest peaks. So now, what I've just demonstrated now. So you see how that song took us? I could not have written that song normally. Now, after that kiss and she walked out, it just happened that my laptop was charged there. I can remember a laptop, and I reached for the laptop.
You wrote it.
And I wrote the song. So I got an opportunity from a barrier, from a problem, from an issue.
She served the purpose.
She served the purpose. And in life,
It was an opportunity.
It was an opportunity, but I didn't know before. So when she walked out, I could have either sung, but I just reached for my laptop and let me just write about what has just gone on. I could not have coined those words without.
That didn't happen.
No, if that didn't happen. To that, I couldn't. You know, and for me, it was an acknowledgement that I can write songs. Because before it was just, vibe this one. When I reach inside a studio, I'll let it come out. But I actually could write.
I love that song, by the way.
Thank you very much. I'll send it to you.
Really, very.
Sorry?
With some help or
whatever. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, but so I wrote that I could write.
Beautiful.
Yes. And that's how I started writing.
You said something. Do you know what you said? I didn't sink. It's profound.
I didn't sink.
You didn't sink. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have.
I could have, but I didn't sink. And so, like this, our gathering, two of us now, it is the epitome of Afropean culture. How long have you lived here?
Oh, 20-something odd years.
And that's it. So that's where your Europeanness.
Oh, my grandmother. My grandmother is English.
See, you're an Afropean quality, 100%. Do you know what I mean? You know, that combining both those cultures.
I really love this. And I do because sometimes I feel like I'm lost in identity. It happens quite a lot because, you know, African culture is very African.
Yes.
And then non-African culture is very non-African. And I find myself in somewhere lost in
you're an Afropean.
Yeah.
And also
I've
another
never
thing.
heard that word before. And
Afropean.
it's an amazing word.
I think the most beautiful Europeans are Africans, and the most beautiful Africans are Europeans. Do you know what I mean? That's why I call you Afropean.
It's African and European.
No.
Does it exist?
That word, no, I didn't coin that word. I first heard it in 2012. A gentleman called Adebantu. Yes, Adebantu Festival.
I've never heard it.
Yes, in festival. I was just talking about this culture, this hybrid culture, and he turned his head. He's German.
That's what we're going to be calling ourselves.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Adebantu is German. Adebantu is German. And so we were just talking, and I said, "Oh, this hybrid culture of we musicians and all that." He said, "That's Afropean." I said, That was in 2012, 2013, and that's like all right. And I've always used that word. So yeah.
It's a gorgeous word. It's a very true, so very beautiful description. So that was the beginning of stepping out of the wheelchair.
Yes.
So
yes.
The opportunities and barriers. So you had angels and demons.
Oh my gosh.
Had everything.
Just
and you were there fighting. You didn't want to sink.
No, I didn't want to sink. I didn't want to sink. No. So, but there'll be some times, man. Roy would get some messages. Man. Dark messages. See the thing where they happen. So, because the poetry comes out again. See the thing where they happen. I should, dead and people should spit on my grave and forget about me. Should be forgotten. Just some awful things. Awful.
That would be the depression.
Oh gosh, the depression was like mad, angry. There'll be some people that will beg and say, I can't take it anymore.
Yes.
Because
Roy, you're actually beginning to feel this thing. It's like
yes. You take them, especially for an empath.
you know how to wind up people. You know how to wind up people. So you can hear his voice. You went through your own stuff as well. So it will come. I know I'm bit to annoy him. I say, yeah, okay.
Oh my God.
You yelled at him also.
Get a grip. Shake him. Yeah. What is wrong with you?
I remember once Roy came to me and he was back and forth and he would start talking about lives and mistakes we've made. And then it was a number of times and I said, let us pray. I was saying that to Roy, and we switch from this Christmas, the quote Bible. He said, we'll say, show me this.
You said just tire. Like,
that time, if you want quote Bible, we'll quote them. Quote the Bible.
Must have been very confusing because devil said the quote. So like, dude, who are you? You know what I mean?
This is what Matthew 22:21. Give to Caesar what is Caesar. Give to God. I go quote up like that for her. He goes, And then angels came in. One of them is Barbara Tucker.
Oh yeah, I've heard of her. I think she's on Facebook. I think I've come across.
Yes. Barbara Tucker, and we got talking. As an angel. She has so much power, intelligence, beauty, talent. She sings so wow. She struts it. She studies it. She's a businesswoman. Do you know what I mean? I first met her in 2011 or 2010. She invited me to come and play in Miami. And so I remember playing the drums in Miami, like, wow. You got thousands of people in the hot sun. And I remember setting the drums and I was playing. And then the DJ changed the music and then the drums start and then the thing they go, drum finish, dance, carry, I go play, I go like this. Then carry back, come to the drums and dance and everything. And she said, yeah, you got it going on. She said, very accent. I call her Manatasi, Queen Manatasi, and she is. That's his force. And we got talking, and we started talking business. And she told me about contracts. Talked about a manager, Dr. Glenn Toby. I mean, she just knows it all, and she's the queen of house. And it's from there that I could determine a new sound that we were going to give out. So I told her there, I said, we've got a new sound. It's called Afro Gospel House.
Wow. Where
every track is a scripture. It's not, so you don't have a name to the track. You have a scripture. So when you're dancing to it, what's the scripture? Psalm 100 verse 4. We enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and a joyous heart. Do you know what I mean? So we dance into another track. I was like, what's this track called? Matthew 6 verse 33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all will be added unto you. Do you know what I mean? And so we spoke about that. We spoke about fashion. We spoke about theater. We spoke about performance. And, that was like 5 years ago. But we started to do these things now. We started to record music. We started to record this Afro gospel house music. So coming into this present day now, I've done a lot of, I've released an album. So I wrote an album in that time of bondage. See how the barriers came about?
The opportunities.
And there's some issues that, when my dad passed, I did not want a property sold, but my sister wanted to sell the house. I said, no, we're not the sell. Now she insisted that we have to sell this house because of certain complications, this, that. Some other people got involved. It was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, sold the house. And then now I'm speaking to Barbara Tucker. And then now I know that, oh, whatever I'm saying, I've got the finance. You see how the opportunities are coming forth? And so, yes, we started. Yeah, we started and started to do our thing. And she's an angel. Nosa is an angel. The angels will come. Angels will come.
So there are people. So basically, it was a combination of many things. Of course, the foundation was your own fight. So you didn't want to sing, and so you didn't. But then you then had help because you didn't want to sing. You were seeing. You were seeing opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yes.
So you found the angels and they helped you. And,
yes.
Yeah.
I think it was then that the creativity really manifested. Because everything I saw, sometimes I can go on a creative bender. And when I go on a creative bender, like a weekend, where I could see a song there, I could see another song there, I could see this fashion coming alive, I could know what I'm writing at page 467 in a book. I could, anything that I put my hand or put my thought to is creativity. So if I started to write, I could, oh my gosh, I could just write about how, for instance, how not only were Africans taken as slaves, but we Africans, we sought to go to the Americas. So we formed a group. So like a shipload of us will actually be captured, go on a ship, and then, and then kill off all the white, because we're soldiers, kill off all the white, the ship, whatever sailors, so that we can steer our ship to Haiti and join in the Haitian Revolution. So that kind of creativity, that kind of thought, so I have this creative benders I never did before is during those 7 years, and that's how the album came about. Yes.
About the kisses. 7 Kisses.
The 7 Kisses was one of the tracks of the album. Yeah. The album is called Through Thick and Thin. Through Thick and Thin is just it's about Lagos culture, about triumph from struggle, about inspiration. And of course, the love songs. Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever thought about writing a book?
Oh yes.
Are you going to?
Well, it's very interesting you write this. You say this because we are halfway through book 1 of a trilogy of books.
Nice.
So the books is called the books are called the Eurocentric Agendas.
I love it.
Yes, the Eurocentric Agendas. It starts in 1789. In 1789, the Alaafin of Oyo died, the last prosperous king. In 1789, the French Revolution started. In July. In 1789, Wilberforce stood up in the British Parliament to declare abolition of slavery. So those 3 things happened in 1789, and we come through history. So different families, different is fact, but it's fiction as well. I'm writing it, and then we come into Yoruba wars from 1783 to 1870 thereabouts, and then we come into the awareness of this African culture. We became aware of ourselves, and then we had 1884 we had the partition, scramble of Africa. Africa was now divided into these European countries. We suffered the slave trade, so they're taking off the slave trade. We now have colonialism. So and then we now come into modern day now, the modernity of African independence, Fela Kuti, our various military rulers. And then we come into the 80s, and then into present day, and then it culminates. So now is the time it's being written. Everything that goes up on Facebook, gosh, the number of characters I've got from Facebook into that book. There's a lady called Ronke Yawon. She gives a lot of, she's a character in my book from 1789. Do you know what I mean? I just need to bring her. And she starts to talk in the book. She starts to give joke in the book. And so Facebook has helped me write this book. And it culminates in 2029 when a Yoruba descendant becomes the Prime Minister of England, according to a prophecy given to the Alaafin of Oyo.
In 1789.
Let the slaves, let the Yorubas be taken as slaves, because one of your offspring will become the Prime Minister, or not the King of England at the time. And that's why, and we have, what happens in 2029? you're getting famous now. Do you know that? Because you're predicting, in 2029, Kemi Badenoch, Kemi Badenoch, a Yoruba descendant, becomes not the queen, but the prime minister of UK. So you're getting famous. First time that this was mentioned.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So let's conclude this podcast
past,
now.
present, and future for the books. I can't wait for this trilogy. Honestly, I'll I'll be
It's one that it's also like an ebook where you're reading along. You can press a button and immediately have the music of that scene. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a musician that's writing. Yes.
Gosh. Okay. So I've learned so much today, and there's so much to unpack.
And it's www.gunju.co.
It's on the screen.
Gunju.co.
It's on the screen.
Yes, gunju.co. Yeah, you can get to know about my music, the new album, my fashion. We're coming alive with some fashion like these design.
I love it.
Yes. So next question.
So no, it's not a question. It's a conclusion actually. So we've unpacked so many things. This cannot be one episode, right? We're going to split it.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to hearing a lot more. But I've learned about strength and resilience, opportunities and barriers. I've learned about angels and demons coexisting. I've learned about what it feels like to actually fight when you choose not to sink. What an unshakable foundation looks like. That's what you are. I'm really glad that I've met you.
Thank you.
I also believe that there isn't such a thing as coincidence or things just happening for the sake of it. So my ink actually thinking that, you know what, I think you'd really like to talk to this guy. I think there was something there. So that was God ministering, right? To make this happen.
Yeah. So, I'm going to let you into a secret. Now, I think this podcast interview has gone quite well. Right.
So
yeah, I think it has gone. And I think I will learn, and so would you, and so would our others. And, I actually wrote this podcast.
Did you?
Yes. From years back.
Okay.
So through the years, and that's how we creators write. So through the years, I knew that there's going to be an interview. I didn't know when exactly it was, but I knew that there's going to be an interview. So you prepare yourself. Like when I go for some performances, sometimes I actually can spend about 20 minutes preparing my facial expressions. Do you know what I mean? Like,
So did you have to prepare for this?
Well,
you're already prepared.
Yes, in a way. So we started to write how we're going to respond. It does help that it's something that's so attractive. Do you know what I mean? No, it does. Can you imagine if it's
eye candy helps.
Eye candy helps. It does help, and then apart from that is the fact that you're Afropean. So you have your own culture that I want to seize upon. I said, that's interesting. What can I give her to do in the future that will make money? How can we make money together? Do you know what I mean? Why not make money fun? Do you know what I mean? Because I tell you, we are the progenitors of a culture. We stand firm and we're looking into it's to the future now. Because we're giving something that's to the future. We're no more in the things that Obama has come, is gone. Do you know what I mean? Where we are now,
that's done.
The African is rising. Do you know what I mean? The African is in ascendancy. In 1896, Plymouth said, a time will come when the materialism of the Western world will be so lost that they will seek the spirituality of the African. And we are that time now. Do you know what I mean? And what better culture to say, it is your culture, come and buy. It's not just English. It's not African. It's not European. It's a culture that is yours.
Yeah,
come and buy.
Me something actually.
Do you know what I mean?
You've sown a seed.
Yes. So, like the Germans make cars, the Japanese make cars, Tesla Americans make cars, but we make culture. We own culture. That's why we dance the best. That's why we look the best. That's why we sing the best. That's why we perform the best. Do you know what I mean? That, melanin.
Yeah, of course. Any last words before we wrap up?
Okay. I just want to say we have it all. And we are just post-COVID. is a new era, the new modern era. We have our culture, Afropean culture.
I love it. It's my new favorite word.
4 continents, for starters. Our marketplace are 4 continents. Africa, Europe, South America, and North America. They fuel us. They dance our dance. They wear our fashion. Wherever we say goes. That's that. This is the culture. The Asia and Australia and the other ones can come afterwards. Do you know what I mean? They will learn. But we have it, you know, and it comes from Africa, the source. And it comes from Lagos. And that's why my album, so we're coming up to now, the conclusion, my album, I dedicate about 4 or 5 tracks to Lagos. So Sons of Lagos, which is musicality I wrote about 25 years ago. It's about the chants from one area to another in Lagos. You know how, so that's the kind of, you know, I put that into a track. I've got a record label in Lagos called Gunju Records. I got a bus conductor off the road. Do you know what I mean? Because I know that I have this ability to project a musician or an artist into the future. I can see how I can dress him up, I can dance him up, I can sing him up. So I took him into the studio and said, look, this is what I want you to do. Even before we got to the studio, he started performing for me. Started cussing, hey, you didn't know and he's driving. Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed this. So this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do it. We got into the studio and he sang about his journey, you know, bus conductors. So that's a hit. There's a fabulous video coming out on that.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh yes, I'll show you some stuff afterwards. And then there's that's Lagos. Take Igo Market. Take Igo Market in a 6/8 beat. So in a way, I'm honoring Fela because Fela only did 1 6/8 in his whole repertoire of music, and that is Custom Checkpoint. And so I use Custom Checkpoint music, rebirth music into Take Igo Market. Take Igo Market is a frosting sound. Do you know what I mean? It's a delivery and it's a message that you must take your eyes to the market to bring better things. Because, you know, what we used to say, you know, when you're going to go and look for a nice, beautiful, well-to-do wife. So another Lagos track is Aromi Salegbe about the water. So there's a brilliant video on Aromi Salegbe where we're on a boat and we're going through Morocco and we're singing about Lagos and the water. You know, and there's another one, Lagos Laikbe. And then, so we've got about 4 or 5 tracks about Lagos culture because it's from that 20 million when they rock into our sound that we've taken over. You know, it's from that region that we'll bring in the best DJs and the best producers to come and play house music in Lagos. So there's that. And then there's music about love, Sons of Lagos. I'm sorry. 7 Kisses of Love.
I like that.
Yes, I'll send it to you.
My favorite.
Yes, I'll send it to you. Of course,
really
I would.
like it,
I would.
It was really
Yes.
heartfelt.
It was really what?
Heartfelt.
Oh, good.
You.
That sexual erotic song.
It's very
so erotic. Gosh, what kind of meditation would be that?
Talking about.
We close our eyes at the same time. We open our eyes at the same time, and there is no other. Do you know what I mean? Or your tenderest peaks. Oh my,
that was the one that got me.
So there's I'm Calling, and then that's about love, and then there's about inspiration through thick and thin. Then there's honor. So I honor Fela in the track in the music with Concolorum. In 1984, Fela was released from prison from an early 10-year sentence. So there's Concolorum is to carry on the shoulders. So that's in honor of him. Then there's saluting Barbara Tucker in Manatasi. This woman from yesteryear. That's an album that I hope people will go and check out. Gunju is on all the platforms, on Spotify, on Bandcamp. It's going to be on Tracksource now. So there's that. There's also the fashion. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be some exciting things coming out. I'm ready to take on a new concept in fashion because it is from that, from that wheelchair where, gosh, who's going to come and see my naked body? Do you know what I mean? So I'm bringing that. Fashion is just, oh my good gosh. And then there's the literature. And then there's the videos that you'll be seeing soon, where we express about our music, where we go back into the yesteryear and we project into the future. It's just that you get it today. right now, this moment. You like that, don't you?
I do.
Good. You can conclude now. You can conclude. And I like it when you laugh like that. I really do. I really enjoy it. Because you just let go. Just, your white teeth, your eyes, I can't see them, but I can just feel them. Do you know what I mean?
Shay is writing this song here. Unshakable Shay.
Yes, let's have another handshake.
So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Chronicles of Unshakable Truths. We started out and we didn't have a title, but now we do. It's opportunities and barriers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Or opportunities via barriers.
So thank you for joining us. I hope you have found some inspiration here somewhere. I've definitely taken a lot of things on board, and going forward, you'll be hearing more about the voice of
Prince
Shay.
Oluwaseyi Paul Osaro Olagunju, otherwise known as Gunju.
Owner and founder of the brand Unshakable. You know the motto. Unshakable is a state of mind. Take your state of mind with you everywhere you go. Be unshakable. Be in truth with yourself. Love yourself. And I'm going to have Shay record this very soon, so look out for that as well. So he's going to be chanting this motto. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Yeah?
I give
Bye.
you a thumbs up.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Roy. Thank you. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Come on.
What's Saige? No?
Well done. Well said. Yes. Saige. I'm going to be managing the Saige's modeling career soon. Yes. Yes.